three processes of memory formation: encoding, storage, and retrieval. If we talk about encoding, so encoding refers to association of meanings with the information. Whenever any new information comes, what we do, we associate meanings. Those meanings could be negative and those meanings could be positive. In both ways, it can go. Let's say I had a bad experience. I visited some bank and over there I had a bad experience. So, how would my brain remember that as a negative experience, as a bad experience? Now, again, that bad experience is a broad domain, it's a broad context. In what terms it was bad? I had to wait for a longer time period, or the manager was not good enough, or the staff over there misbehaved with me. Definitely, there might be some specificity, right? So, this is what encoding is. Whenever memory formation takes place, the very first crucial thing or the process which takes place is encoding, right? We encode information, right? And what's that? We associate meanings. Like if we go to developmental psychology, if we talk about children, so children also associate meanings. In AS, you used to study for Zulu lineups. So in for Zulu lineups, if you remember, so that females were not they were not wearing uniforms. Why? Because children would associate meanings with that. If they would have worn the uniform, that these are some figures of authority and their true behavior might not come. So it's true that whenever we build memory or whenever memory takes place in our brain, and this is done unconsciously sometimes as well. Sometimes we are not aware of it as well. So encoding takes place, and once encoding is done, and the second step is storage. And storage takes place where? In the short term memory, right? So what is storage? Storage is when the information gets stored, right? So what is storage? Storage refers to a process of storing information, right? And we store information where? We store information in the short term memory. And how is that information stored? Through rehearsal. Like I have given you example that if a class is going on and if I have 50 students in my class, let's say, so all of those students will only remember stuff in the long run if they are revising it after the class. Means rehearsal is crucial. So when rehearsal is done, so what happens? Storage is taking place. That thing gets permanently stored. But again, we can't say memory is permanent, because with time, with age, and with some health conditions also, there is one health condition known as Alzheimer's disease. And in Alzheimer's disease, memory starts getting weak, and especially the short term memory. Getting my point? So this is what you need to remember, that storage refers to process of storing information. And what is retrieving? Definitely retrieving or retrieval refers to remembering information or recalling stored information. If information is not stored, it cannot be retrieved, it cannot be recalled. Because in recall, what you do in recall, according to the concept which I have explained, it's what do we do in retrieval? How can we recall things back? We access the long term memory. And how is that long term memory formed? Through the consolidation of the short term memory, through the rehearsal. Getting my point? So if rehearsal hasn't taken place, it means the short term memory won't be built. And if short term memory won't be built, so long term memory will also not be there, because things from the short term will go into the forgetting mode, right? Right, Aisha? So this is what you need to remember, that when we go to LTM, so retrieval takes place. Like in exam, the very best and practical example which I give to the students is of exam. In exam, what you guys do is you actually take short term memory, convert it into long term memory with you. So basically the concepts, let's say Aisha has to appear for the Cambridge exam of psychology, and she has memorized Locke's and Latham goal setting theory, and she has memorized Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So when she'll sit in the exam, that stuff is where? That stuff is in her storage. Storage is there in long term as well, Aisha, and storage is there in short term memory as well. So you can write this. Again, short term has a different storage capacity and long term has unlimited storage capacity. Long term doesn't have a fixed storage, because you remember the unconscious conflicts and psychodynamic. We have a lot of things. It acts, unconscious mind acts as a reservoir. So it has many things. Many things are there in the memory, but we can't access it back. But it's not like forgetting doesn't take place from LTM, it also does takes place. Again, that would be a complex concept which we are not studying right now because it's at bachelor's and master's level of psychology. So you just need to remember that storage can take place in both LTM, that's long term memory, right? And STM, that's short term memory. So, miss, what's the difference? Short term memory storage would be temporary, and LTM would be permanent, not lifetime. I said permanent, maybe it lasts for certain months or days, getting my point. But again, from long term forgetting takes place too, like you won't be able to remember what exactly you did in your AS. Many things won't be there in your brain as it is, but till your exam they remained in your brain. So it means long term memory was there, but forgetting has taken place from the long term memory as well. And the third thing which you need to understand is retrieval. What is retrieval? Retrieval refers to information recalling information the stored information. So whenever we talk about memory formation, these three things should be taken into account. And what are those three things? Three things in terms of memory formation are encoding, storage, and retrieval. And three memory stores, according to Atkinson and Shiffrin model, are sensory memory, short-term memory, long-term memory. Right? I hope so. Things are clear up till here. Any queries, any questions you want to ask?